Welcome back. Welcome back from the shed end. Welcome back to the channel. Match build up. We are ready. Let's go. This is Brentford versus Chelsea. 2 p.m. kickoff. Team news is out. All of that good stuff. Before we get into it, please make sure you subscribe. As always, to the channel. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Hit the Linktree link in the description as well. Where should we start with this one? Where should we start? Where shall we start? I think we should start with the team news. Start with the team news. Because Maresca, in Maresca ways, as he does, big yourself up in the chat as well. DJ Savj, big up. As Maresca does, Maresca has changed things completely. Now, I get it. We played a game on Thursday night against Tottenham. We've got Conference League football on Thursday this week, but this is the time when you can't be swapping and changing. Now I'm nervous for this game. I'm nervous for this game now because the lineup, let's go through the Chelsea lineup first. So we've got Robert Sanchez, who we thought was always going to be in goal. We've got Reece James at right back. Tosin, Chalobah, centre-back partnership. I thought Levi Colwill should have stayed in the team myself. This is where it gets a bit crazy because now we've got Malo Gusto at left back. I get it. You want to rest Marc Cucurella for Thursday, but you need these points in the Premier League. I'll be honest. That if we're being real and being honest, the Premier League kind of takes a bit more precedent over the Conference League. I know it's a trophy. I know we're going to hopefully get to the final and win that. But ultimately, we need Champions League football next season. And we can't afford to drop points to Brentford. Let me carry on. Moises Caicedo, who put in a brilliant performance. You can't really leave him out your team regardless of who you're playing. Keenan Dewsbury-Hall is playing alongside Moises Caicedo in that midfield. We then have a front three of Noni Madueke, Enzo Fernandez, who, when I did the match reaction to the Tottenham game, I said we need to play higher up. I didn't think we were going to see it in this game, but here we are. And somehow Jadon Sancho has kept his place in the team. The biggest one for me, though, and I kind of get it as well a little bit, is Christopher Nkunku is the number 9 today. This is a massive game for Christopher Nkunku. Nicholas Jackson obviously coming back from long-term injury. I agree with DJ Savj as well. You know, too many changes is a concern in lineup. It really is. For the simple fact that you look at the teams around us, looking at the table now, obviously Forest on 57 points. You got Man City, who've played as many games as we have so far as it stands now. Obviously, we're playing in the next 40 minutes, but they're on 51 points. Then you have Newcastle, played 29 games, 50 points. Then you have Brighton, 47 points, 8th in the league. We could even go down as far as to Bournemouth, who have had a very, haven't won in 5, but this is a game you can't, Brentford the 12th. Brentford the 12th. I'll be honest, I think Maresca's kind of done the thing that he did. I think it was against maybe Fulham at Christmas and that period where we played Palace, Fulham and Ipswich over the Christmas period. And he changed things completely against Ipswich. And it backfired. If you remember, I think we lost, was it 2-0? I think we lost. It backfired completely. I don't think you can change a Chelsea squad this much with that much inexperience in it. It's been a poor season overall. Yes, we're still 4th by, I don't know how, but we're 4th. But if I'm being honest, I think he's changed things too much. I think he's changed the squad too much today. And that's, to me, that's a mad worry. Glad to see Noni Madueke back in the team. I'm glad Chalobah's kept his place. We know that Fofana's out for the season. But I do think, I said it again, I think on Friday, we need to see a centre-back partnership that is going to have consistency, build up a good relationship. And I think that might be Trevor Chalobah and Levi Colwill. In fact, I don't think it is. That is the partnership we're going to have to see now. Fofana can't keep himself fit. Badiashile is a mixed bag of good and bad. Consistently, Trevor Chalobah has put in good performances for us. Not just this season, seasons before that as well. I don't get it. I do not get it. I do not get it. It's a worry now because you got to hope that Sanchez doesn't make a blunder. You got to hope that Tosin and Chalobah are on the same page. You got to hope that Malo Gusto is able to affect the game down the left side, especially with Sancho. Like, Sancho slows the game down a lot. Like when we look back to that Spurs game, Sancho slowed everything down. We're on the counter. We got a chance to get the ball and progress it forward, and he's slowing things down. Today's not the day for that. Let's go through our subs very quickly. The bench, we got Jorgensen as our goalkeeper on the bench. We got Bamwa, Badia Shil, Josh Ashiempong, Levi Colwell, Marco Correa, Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Pedro Neto, and Tariq George. Now, it's a really good bench. There's options that we can bring off there, but we shouldn't have to hopefully do that. I'm not a big fan of putting out a team and then having to chase the win. I'd rather we get the win comfortably, go 2-0, maybe 3-0 up, even 2-1, 3-1. You go up, you're controlling the game, and then you bring on the Dewsbury-Halls. Then you maybe push Enzo a bit higher up. Then you take off Cucurella and you bring on Malagusto. To start with this team is just very concerning for me. Again, in the chat, looks like our clueless manager is prioritising the Conference League over finishing top 4 in the Prem to get Champions League. Don't get me wrong, I want us to win. I agree. I want us to win a trophy, but at what cost? At what cost? Like, I know, yes, a trophy, major honours, all that, if you can call the Conference League a major honour trophy, but Champions League football has to be the objective this season. It has to be the objective, not even just financially, but some of these players need to step up now. I'm just saying, it's a bit, to me, it's a bit of a confusion of a lineup. But Flecken in goal for Brentford, who's a very good player for them. Lewis Potter on left back, I like him as well. Damsgaard, Wissa, Annembumo, Norgard in the midfield. This is going to be a really, really tough game for us today, I think. I think Brentford, who've been out of form lately, will come into this one and they're gonna enjoy it. They're going to enjoy this. I think our last win was 2021. That was in the EFL Cup. We drew last season, 2nd of March, 2-2. We drew the season before that, 0-0. We have to go back as far as the 16th of October for our last win at the G-Tech Stadium. A goal by Ben Chilwell. I don't know. I think I'd be more happy seeing a lineup that is a bit more convincing. I wouldn't have changed too much from the squad that was out there against Spurs on Thursday. I think that was a good team, a solid team. We looked good. We didn't really take our chances in that first half on Thursday, but you could see there was things working. Cole Palmer was clicking. I get it. We've got Champions League, Conference League football on Thursday. But it's Legia Warsaw. We should still be able to beat them anyway. This is the thing with Maresca. I think he's very much a safe manager. He doesn't want to take too many risks. Reece James played, I don't know if he played the both international games. He definitely played the first one for Thomas Tuchel in England. Why isn't he starting against Spurs? Why is he starting today? Will he even finish the game? Let's hope he doesn't get injured. But you just think, he's the captain. He's got to be the one that leads us through it. He's got to lead us through these last games and get us over the line. But then you look at the two centre-backs now, and I'm not saying Tossen's a bad centre-back. He's a good centre-back. He's been good for us. He's been, arguably one of our best signings, even though he didn't cost a penny. But we need consistency between two centre-backs. If we're going to play the 4 at the back, there has to be a consistent 2. And for me, that is Chalobah and Levi Colwell. Both of them look very good against Tottenham. Marco Correa should not be rested for me. If anything, I would play Malagusto on Thursday at left back and rest Cucurella on Thursday. This is the Premier League. You can't afford to drop points at this point in the season because, like I just said, the teams behind us, they're going to be on it. Some of them have got games in hand. So even when we look like we're 4th, realistically, if City win their games in hand, if Newcastle win their game in hand, you already know what's going to happen. We're going to drop out. It's so easy to drop out that top 4. And we can't rely on top 5 to get us in the Champions League. We just can't do that. I don't want to get to the end of the 2 games in the season and we're still fighting it out for top 4. I want us to be able to cement ourselves in there. This today is, I don't think people realize how crucial this game is today. I said the other day, the Thursday game against Tottenham was probably the biggest one out of the next 9 games or so. Today is another one, another cup final. It's another cup final. It's crazy. It's absolutely mental. I can't believe I'm seeing the lineup. I really can't. We've got to talk about Nkunku. You've got to talk about Nkunku because he's one of those players that when we signed him, we spoke on this channel before, we spoke in the podcast. Yeah, I agree, DJ Sav J. I hope we do win. I hope we win. I hope he proves us wrong. I hope this works. But I've got flashbacks of Ipswich. I think it might have been Boxing Day or around that time. It was around the Christmas period and he literally changed. I think he made about 7 or 8 changes against Ipswich and we lost. Because you're constantly swapping and changing players. There's no cohesion. There's no consistency. There's just nothing. But Nkunku has to score today. I want to see that balloon come out the sock. I want to see Nkunku doing what he can do. We know he's got the quality about him. But he's got to get the confidence to go with the quality now. This is his moment. This is his opportunity. No Mark Gu. Nicholas Jackson's on the bench. You got Enzo Fernandez behind you who's going to be hopefully providing you service. You got wide areas of Sancho and Noni Madueke. Nkunku has to score today. In fact, I think he will score today. He has to score today. He has to score. There's no ifs or buts. This man has to score a goal today, Christopher Nkunku. He has to. I can't believe it. Just when you think you beat Spurs and you think, actually, we're on a good little, we played well. We didn't take all the chances, but we played well enough. And then you come out on a Sunday and you swap the team around again. Like, you don't need to make that many changes in the team. You just don't. You don't need to make that many changes in the team. I get there's a game on Thursday, but we have to win this. We really do. We really, really do. Now, we come into this one good form, really good form. We've only lost, in our last 5, we've only lost to Arsenal. Brentford have lost so far to Newcastle, Villa. They drew with Everton. They've beaten Bournemouth and Leicester City. They've scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches. And Flecken is ranked first in saves per match in this competition. And Bumo has created the most big chances for Brentford. He's got 13. We've scored 5 goals in our last 5 matches. Cole Palmer is ranked second in big chances created in the Premier League. And also Nicholas Jackson has the most shots on target per match for Chelsea. Doesn't say a lot though, because he's averaging just over 1.5 shots on target per game. So it's not really giving us a good metric to go by. But we have to win. If we don't win, there's going to be questions. Now, I'm worried about Sanchez in goal. Yes, he played quite well on Thursday. But this is a team, Brentford, that will press you from the front. And Bumo, Wissa, they will press from the front. There will be no time on the ball for the likes of Sanchez, for the likes of Tosun, Chalobah, the 2 wide fullbacks in James, and Brentford will press you. This will be a physical game in that midfield. Caicedo, switch your head on, discipline. We can't afford to lose him for 2 games. This will be a physical game today. And Brentford want this. Don't forget, Brentford are 12th. They've had a very mixed bag of results this season. But this is a stadium where, in the ground, that we don't always come out victorious. Like I said, the draws, our last win in 2021. We just have to hope, like we said in the chat, we have to hope that we get the 3 points and we get proven wrong here. But looking at that lineup, now I'm worried. Now I'm thinking to myself, are we even going to get the 3 points? Are we even going to get the 3 points? Our next games after this, we have Legia Warsaw in the Conference League. We have Ipswich next Sunday. We play Legia Warsaw again. We then have Fulham again on the Sunday. That's an away game as well. We then have 2, which I think are big games. You see, if we haven't wrapped up or we're not even in that conversation for top 4, by the time we come to 26th of April, we're playing Everton at home, Stamford Bridge. We then play Liverpool the week after. We then have to go to St James's Park. We then have a home tie to Manchester United. And then we play Nottingham Forest on the last game of the season. Away. These sort of games today, if we don't win, we're going to look back and say, that's the game. There's going to be a game before the season's done where we'll go, actually, that's the game we should have won. It might be today. Because that lineup is actually, I'm thinking about it more and more now. Keenan Dewsbury-Hall in the midfield with Caicedo. I think Caicedo's getting booked today because I think he's going to have to do a lot of that in the midfield. He's going to have to do a lot of work in the midfield. He's going to have to. He's going to have to do a lot of work in the midfield because I think with Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, a player that hasn't really held down a position in the squad, and we're asking him to do a big job today. A massive job in that midfield. A massive job in that midfield. Lovely Sunday, the sun's shining. I've been for my 5K run. My boy won his football player of the match today in his Sunday league game. Sunday was looking good. But of course, Chelsea come and crash things down because that's what Chelsea love to do to me. Oh my God. Elsewhere, City, United later, Fulham, Liverpool. None of those games apart from the City game. We need to hope that United strangely do us a favour later. We have to hope that United do us a favour later. Not really too concerned by Fulham. Tottenham, Southampton is literally a relegation battle. Let's be honest. The two fighting it out, who's going down. Let me know what you think about Maresca. If you're on the live, give me your thoughts about Maresca, because does he need to make all these changes for Thursday? My predicted lineup, if you go on the Twitter page from the shed end, in fact, I'll try and find it now. Let me try and find my lineup. My lineup was actually a winnable lineup, I think. The lineup I went with was actually... So the lineup I went with was Sanchez in goal, Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, Levi Colwell, Marco Correa, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Pedro Neto on the left, Cole Palmer as the 10, Noni Madueke on the right, Nicholas Jackson as the 9. I don't think you need to make that many changes to a squad that looked very comfortable on Thursday night. I don't think you need to make that many changes. I generally don't think you need to make that many changes. Worrying times if we don't win. It's worrying times if we don't win. It really is, man. It really is. Let's try and stay positive. Let's think of the positives. Let's think of the positives. Is there any positives to take from this actually already? The game hasn't even kicked off and I'm being negative, but the positives are Nkunku's got a very good chance today to prove why we've got him in our team. That's a positive. This is a really good game for him to come into. The Brentford defence can be got to very easily. The thing with Nkunku, he has to find the right pockets of space, stay in the box, time your runs well. That's a positive for me. If we can get Nkunku in the right areas of the pitch, get the ball into him early enough, he's got to take the shots off, he's got to test Flecken, then I'll be happy with him. Another positive, Enzo Fernandez, as I said last week, has to be playing higher up. We got to see how well he was in terms of the goal, unmarked header, bang into the goal against Spurs. That's a positive. We need to see a bit more of that from him. Another positive, Noni Madueke. Let's see, hopefully he has a good game. You could potentially say positive, Cole Palmer's being rested and not being used again. But I think we would have I personally think we need Cole Palmer today. I think this is a perfect game for Cole Palmer just to unlock defences. I think he needs to get a couple of minutes. I reckon he'll come on at some point. But as I said, I would have started him because I think he's going to need it here. We're getting some news here from Enzo Maresca, pre-match press conference. So he's put The reasons for the changes, the ones that are going to start, I think are going to be the right ones. Also, because we have a few back from injury recently, playing after 72 hours isn't the best after you come back from a long-term injury. Sorry, I'm getting notifications at the same time as well. I don't know, man. I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out. I feel like it's a cop-out from the manager. 72 hours, I get it. They had a match 72 hours ago, but then they've got almost like training. They'll have a rest day tomorrow, training Tuesday, training Wednesday, travel. In fact, isn't the first leg, our first leg in the Conference League, that's at home actually, isn't it? Is that not at home? So we ain't even got to travel anywhere. Oh no, we got to travel. Yeah, so train Wednesday morning, travel, or train Wednesday, Tuesday, travel. Maybe train over there, get a training session in. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. We didn't even need to make that many changes. We really didn't. Bonkers, man. Bonkers. Absolute bonkers from the manager. Just bonkers from the manager. Because you could rest all these players. You could rest all these players and then play them on Thursday and they get injured anyway. Especially with our track record. Like, Fofana got injured without even kicking a football. Lavia got injured without kicking a football. Like, we have one of the worst injury records anyway, so even resting our players clearly isn't helping. You might have to take the risk at some point and just play them and hope that they get through the game. You play them for 70 minutes, you take them off. I don't think you should be resting players that you know might be the ones that change the game for you, especially against someone like Brentford as well. A bit more from the press conference that Maresca's given here. It's nice to win games, especially when it's a derby like Thursday, but that's gone and finished. Now we have games ahead of us and hopefully we can win today as well. In the chat, I tell you if we had an elite gaffer, I could go over these changes today like a Jose, Carlo, Thomas Tuchel. I think the mentality of every player, 100%. The mentality will be different under Jose, Carlo, Tuchel. The mentality would be, first of all, I don't even think the manager would change things that much if it was one of those three managers. I generally don't. This Maresca, when he first came in, I thought he was like saying all the right things. He was doing all the right things. Obviously, we started the season very well. And then after that Christmas period, it's like something changed. It's almost like the owner said to him, I don't know, something must have happened over Christmas, whether there was a breakdown in communication with the owners or whatever, because something changed in even his press conferences were different. Now he's playing safe football. Now he's playing football and coming out and saying things like, it's nice to win a derby and this and that. He came out in December and said we weren't in a title race, even though I think we were first at the time or second in the league. We're not in a title race. So the mentality just isn't there, I don't think, with this manager. Getting promotion with Leicester's great, it's one thing, but when you're at Chelsea, even today's game, you go out to win. You don't go out and think, I can't be thinking about Thursday today. I'll think about Thursday at 6 p.m. today. Once that game's done, right, move over to Thursday. You can't think about Thursday and resting players and being safe when you've got a game that you have to win in the Premier League. Thomas Tuchel would never rest all these players. Carlo Ancelotti would not rest all these players unless we had depth in the squad that was of the same quality that you're resting, which we don't. We know that Keenan Dewsbury-Hall is not on the same level as Enzo Fernandez or Moises Caicedo. We know that. So why are we resting these players that we know we're going to need in the team? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Jose would not rest his players unless Jose went a season and conceded 15 goals. The mentality is different. 15 goals all season. The record will never be broken again in the Premier League. There'll never be a team that can concede just 15 goals in a season. The mentality was and is different for those managers. If we lose today, when we came out the FA Cup, what did Maresca say? Maresca said, we can now concentrate on the Premier League. That's a defeatist mindset. We got smashed by Brighton in 2 games, back to back. I'm getting stressed thinking about this game already. We've got 15 minutes till kickoff. We've got another couple of minutes on here. So let's get our predictions in. I think I said earlier on in the week, I think we should beat them 2-0. And I'm going to stay with that. In fact, no, let me change it. Let me be realistic. We are going to concede a goal. And it's going to be a silly goal. And it's going to involve Robert Sanchez doing something stupid. So I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1. I think we win 2-1. But I'm nervous. Very, very, very nervous for this one because you don't make that many changes. You don't need to make that many changes, Maresca. But let's hope for the win. Let's hope we win comfortably. We'll be back here for the match reaction after the game as well, so make sure you tune in for that one. Boy, Chelsea know how to piss off a Sunday, don't they? Really do. But listen, subscribe, like the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you're here after the live stream as well. Don't forget the Linktree link is also in the description, so go over to our social accounts, follow on there. Appreciate everyone in the chat that's been in the chat on the live stream. Let's hope for 3 points, 15 minutes till kickoff. Until then, we'll be back soon, man. Enjoy the game.